Chapter 1091, Golden Core. Demon Freak felt like falling into an ice hole. His eyes were full of fear. Even in his dreams, he never expected those 8 experts he took great efforts and energy to cultivate were killed in a flash. The blood blotted over the sky as though the blood river in hell, and he couldn't wait for more to escape. So strong. He was now finally sure this young man had enough power to kill him since his subordinates had strength on par with him. Staring at Tang Xiu, Demon Freak shouted in a heavy voice, "Who exactly are you? There's no enmity between us, why do you want to eliminate my side?" "Humph. You were so full of spirit and vigor when you ordered your men to kill me just now." Tang Xiu sneered. "How could you forget it in just a flash, huh? It's you who wanted to kill first, so I ordered my men. What I did is justifiable self-defense." The old argued man hastily. "Sir, you're very powerful and I'm likely not your opponent. You even have very strong subordinates and most of them are Golden Core stage experts. But who exactly are you and why do you want to kill us?" "Is there a need for you to know who we are, huh?" "Zero." Tang Xiu chuckled and said, "All the enemies that have been trapped inside my blood seed array came to one end, death. If you want a reason, I can tell you that those trying to seize control over the underground forces in Saipan must die." Demon Freak stared dumbly for a second. Then, he furiously shouted, "Fuck it. We're not Saipan locals nor do we have any thoughts to control Saipan's underground forces. I have enmity with the Stygian Club and also a new grudge over the old with that damned Iron Raven. I brought my men here with one purpose, to kill Iron Raven and slay anyone from the Stygian Club. Is that so?" Shooting him a strange look, Tang Xiu then let out a bit of regret on his handsome face and sighed. "Well, it seems like I shouldn't kill you now that I know your purpose since the Stygian Club and I have deep enmity. Only, that cadaveric beast next to you is enough the reason to kill you." Demon Freak furrowed his brows and asked, "Just for that reason?" "I'm not a saint. And naturally, I rarely sympathize with the poor state of the world and the people who live in it," said Tang Xiu. "I just understand the truth that life and death are decreed by fate, and so are wealth and destiny, which are matters of destiny. Only, you slaughtered so many people just because you have formidable power. Some conclusions say that one who does so will be spellbound and degenerate into the demonic path. For you to continue living in the world will likely lead to more people suffering in the future. Most of whom will die in your hands and to this cadaveric beast." Demon Freak now looked desperate. He couldn't tell whether Tang Xiu's reason was really true or false, but he was sure that this man would never let him go today. Taking a deep breath, he instantly retreated back while releasing the 8 flags, angrily shouting, "Let me go. I give you my word I won't kill anyone, not even one in the future, otherwise I'll make you pay a heavy price even if I die in your hands today. Are you threatening me, by chance?" Tang Xiu gave him a contemptuous look in response. Just as he was about to act, he suddenly recalled something and immediately looked at the geezer and asked, "I can spare your wretched life if you can answer my question." Demon Freak geezer's complexion changed and he hurriedly asked, "What is it?" "Just ask. I won't hide anything as long as it's within my knowledge. Any secret was worth revealing if it means that he could secure his life." "You should have been in Saipan for some time, yes?" asked Tang Xiu. "There was a fight here a few days ago. It was a group of mysterious people who ambushed some cultivators. I can spare your life if you can tell me the origin of these mysterious people." The old man tried to recall for a while. He felt a bit relieved when he saw Tang Xiu's eyes and then spoke with a solemn expression, "I don't think anyone can answer your question if you ask others. It was a coincidence that I witnessed the whole scene, actually. It seems those cultivators are your men, right?" "Correct. They are my men." Tang Xiu didn't hide it and nodded. "Reasonably speaking, your men are very strong." The old man sighed. "But they just bumped into some top-rank bunch of SOE. They are all genetic warriors who have undergone many genetic modifications. But the one who leads and commands of these genetic warriors is the most outstanding genius of House Dolan, Angelo Dolan. The House of Dolan. A chilling light flashed in Tang Xiu's eyes. He slowly extended a finger and asked in a deep voice, "Tell me, where are those genetic warriors of SOE led by this Angelo Dolan now? You only have this chance, else you'll turn into dead meat soon. Then I'll search your memory with the soul-scouring art to find the answer I want." Soul-scouring art. Demon Freak couldn't help but shiver. He had heard from Tao Master Poison that some evil cultivators in China were proficient in the soul-scouring art, a method that went against the natural order. It could scour all the memories of the enemy, no matter whether they were alive or had just died. Is he that kind of evil cultivator? He drew in a deep breath and replied, "I don't have any enmity with those guys from SOE, and we even cooperate in some aspects. But that genius of House Dolan owes me a favor, so he met me after they arrived in Saipan, which is why I know their whereabouts. If you want to find them, go search the Pacific waters. They were tracking several cultivators who went to the sea several days ago, otherwise, the Speeder Union wouldn't have ended up with such a miserable end like this." Tang Xiu frowned and said, "What do you mean? Are you saying either the SOE or the House Dolan is related deeply to the Speeder Union?" "Don't you already know the Speeder is controlled by House Dolan?" asked the old man with an odd expression. "The SOE is also affiliated with them. Those people from Ravengale, which is affiliated to the Stygian Club, must have received the news that Angelo Dolan brought the SOE's genetic warriors to the sea. Thus the reason they dared to attack the Speeder's HQ." At this moment, a horrifying aura erupted from Tang Xiu, making Demon Freak greatly startled. He couldn't bear to hold on and retreated tens of meters. He could sense that Tang Xiu was at least 10 times more powerful than him, given the intensity of the erupted aura. It would be absolutely easy for Tang Xiu to kill him. "Hey, you just said you'll spare me if I can answer your question," shouted the old man rapidly. "I can spare you, but I must control your life," replied Tang Xiu apathetically. "I want you to sign a soul pact. I'll let you go and won't constrain your actions in the future if you agree. But if you refuse, you'll expose everything that happened today later, so it's too difficult for me to leave you alive." "Are you going back on your own fucking words? You really got no integrity," roared Demon Freak. "I haven't gone back on my word," said Tang Xiu indifferently. "I just said that I'll let you go, but I must have your life under my control in case you expose anything about me after you leave." "Humph, even if I sign a soul pact with you, do you think it can stop me from spreading the things you just did?" Demon Freak sneered. "That's nothing but an excuse. You just want me to give up resisting and then you can freely oppress and exploit me." Whoosh. Kawako's figure flickered and instantly appeared at Tang Xiu's side. Her pretty eyes swept over the Demon Freak geezer and contemptuously said, "Our sect master doesn't need any excuses if he wants to kill you. Just a flick of his fingers is enough to make your soul scatter, no need for him to play any scheme on you. You're called Demon Freak Geezer, aren't you? Let me tell you, the soul pact my sect master is offering you won't harm you, but give you huge fortune instead. For I'm a living example." Demon Freak Geezer knitted his brows and asked, "You also signed a soul pact with him? What kind of form does this thing exist, exactly?" "The soul pact is like a seed planted in your body by sect master and will act like a bomb. Your soul will scatter and you'll die tragically as long as the sovereign wishes it so. Hence, you must obey the sect master, only then can you live in peace. Yet, you still dared to sign a soul pact with him even though it's that horrifying?" The Demon Freak Geezer retorted incredulously. "Humph. I was nothing but a bug a year and a half ago, even though I was quite a powerful martial artist." Kawako sneered. "But in just a year and a half, I've been continuously breaking through in cultivation from martial artist to be a golden core stage expert. It was all thanks to Sect Master who helped me remove the obstacles, so I can train lots of elite warriors I call my own. Hence the reason why I obtained a prominent identity, status, strength, and wealth. All in all, I've nearly obtained everything. And yet, Sovereign never makes things difficult for me, nor has he done anything disadvantageous to me event though he can control my life and death. If you want to get a huge chance like this, take it and learn to follow and obey orders. The benefits you'll probably get will be much more than you yourself are striving for. Demon Freak Geezer stared fixedly at Kawako. After a long time, he finally asked with difficulty, "You have power at Golden Core stage, but you're not Chinese and you're not a cultivator from that country either." "Cultivators don't divide people by the race, regardless of nationality," replied Kawako. "Though I'm a Japanese, Sect Master treats me like his own family." "A Japanese, yet a cultivator in China?" Demon Freak turned his head to look at Tangxiu in disbelief. His lips squirmed a few times before raising his thumb and praised. "You're really amazing, sir. Kawako has told you a lot, so I won't bother with any nonsensical talk," said Tangxiu indifferently. "You have two ways out now. Submit and sign a soul pact, or to be killed by me here and now, so I can make use of your golden core energy to help me refine much better sanguine pills with a stronger effect." The Demon Freak Geezer drew in a deep breath and said, "There's something I'd like to know first. If I were to choose to submit to you, what do you want me to do later? I can make my choice at once if you can answer this." "Don't you have enmity with the Stygian Club?" asked Tangxiu back apathetically. "I need you to infiltrate them. When I get rid of the Stygian Club in the future, you and I can collaborate from the inside and outside then. Also, that includes the SOE company, and even the existence behind it, the House Dolan." Chapter 1092, Everything is Settled. Finally, Demon Freak Geezer understood Tangxiu's intention. He knew that with the latter's strength, killing him was easy. But he patiently said so much to him, even his subordinate explained some things to him while he waited patiently. It turned out that he wanted to make him submit to work for him in the future. "I give you my word." The old devil knew the truth, that only those who acted according to circumstances would survive. He hadn't had enough with living. Even with his current cultivation, he could only live for another century. It was better to live than to die, to begin with. Some freedom may be lost, but it was his best choice at present. Tangxiu paced forward, appeared before the Demon Freak Geezer and lightly said, "Give up resistance and open your mind. I need to cast the soul-ruling art in your body. I'll choose the time to unseal this control over you later in the future if you're obedient and make contributions." "All right." The old man looked like a gambler who had thrown his dice and stakes at this moment. He removed all his defenses as per Tangxiu's instruction and let him plant the soul-ruling art seed in his body. The instant Tangxiu did it, the geezer's heart trembled. He sensed a faint energy fluctuation in a hidden spot inside his heart. But due to that faint energy, he felt like there was a thread that connected him to Tangxiu. Tangxiu then issued an order to stop the killing of Demon Freak's men. Then, he lightly said, "I'm your boss from now on. I need you to work on something for the time being. Which is to find me those SOE people and the best genius of House Dolan, Angelo." A bit of awe could be seen in Demon Freak's eyes. It was the kind of emotion directly caused by the influence of the soul contract. He gave Tangxiu a deep look and said in a deep voice, "I have a way to contact Angelo, boss. Just give me half a day and I'll know where he is." Raising his brows, Tangxiu shortly realized that Demon Freak Geezer had spoken the truth before. His relationship with the SOE company and House Dolan was very likely to have more than met the eye. "What exactly is your relationship with them?" "The SOE company is my partner, and we have jointly founded a genetic research lab to secretly study the gene's working mechanism." The old man explained. "This cadaveric beast I've been raising has been injected by the strongest gene agent there was, and I've been gradually improving its strength, with my refining and tempering method. That's why it ultimately has the power on par with an early-stage golden core cultivator now. Further, I've had a lot of cooperation with House Dolan, all of which pertain to silencing and neutralizing people and robbing them of their possessions. They gave payment, you can say it's a salary, while I and Tao Master Poison were responsible to deal with things for them. That'd be great. Tang Shou nodded. You can win their trust because of this track record. It seems not killing today is the right choice. However, I can't say the same with regard to your men. I'll leave them to you to deal with. But you must remove any unreliable ones, for you yourself will be implicated should our relationship be exposed. The old devil pondered for a moment and nodded. I got it, boss. Having said that, his figure suddenly dove down and instantly came to his remaining dozen men. As he grasped a sharp dagger, an afterimage of his figure flashed and the big man in a black night suit held his throat and heart before he fell. Of the tens of people, only 18 remained. But there was not the slightest fear on their faces upon witnessing demon freaks killing. It was like the old devil killing them was a normal occurrence. All of you, draw back. Tang Shou opened the entrance of the blood-seed array and watched as everyone left quickly disappeared from the array. His eyes looked around at the many pairs of eyes and then began concocting pills. The battle was between the Raven Gale and the Speeder, and then the old devil came with his men to fight the former, which turned out to be a fight against the Stygian Club's people. In addition to the people ordered to be cleaned up by Tang Shou's order, the number of casualties exceeded 500. Time passed by and 3 hours had elapsed in the blink of an eye. When Tang Shou's figure appeared outside the blood-seed array, it was as if the whole world turned quiet. Whoosh. 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 Figures moved lightning fast from the distance and rushed toward Tang Shou in an instant. Most of them had longing looks and a few had an inquiry on their faces upon seeing Tang Shou. Tang Shou let out a vague smile and immediately deactivated the blood-seed array. 12 sanguine pills were floating in front of the Speeder's HQ building as he instantly collected them all. Demon Freak Geezer, take your men and clean up the scene. Try not to leave too many traces and supervise the things here. Then, take your men to Lao Bei Resort later to find me. Tang Shou ordered as he then led Tang Guang and away. Demon Freak Geezer looked to be in high spirits. He could sense the energy fluctuations from the sanguine pills Tang Shou just refined. The cadaveric beast, particularly, transmitted its desire and thirst for those pills. Thus, it was obvious that those pills were absolutely a good thing. Clean up the scene, guys. He issued an order and his vision turned to the direction where Tang Shou and the rest disappeared. He had a vague hunch that Tang Shou ordered him to take his men to find him at the Lao Bei Resort and not directly contact Angelo Dolan. That meant he should have a share of those 12 sanguine pills. At Lao Bei Resort. After Tang Shou brought his men back, he received the news from Tom Reggie. At this time, this guy brought a lot of men and kept cleaning up the remnants of the Raven Gale. Although the resistance was tough and especially tenacious along the way, he had assistance from experts such as Mo, who was at the Golden Core stage. His momentum alone was like pulling weeds by the roots and killing all resistance. The entire day left Saipan in chaos and the policemen under the command of Song Guanghui cleverly avoided all the scenes of battle between the underground forces. Oftentimes, he commanded the police force to come to the spots after the battle long ended and concluded. When the new day arrived with its greeting sun from the east, Tom Reggie hurried back to Lao Bei Resort with a few of his confidants. He was slightly injured when appeared before Tang Shou. Are you okay? Asked Tang Shou while observing him. It's nothing, no serious injuries. Tom Reggie shook his head and said, our men now control all the underground forces in Saipan, though it may take a few days to handle the aftermath work. But I believe I can handle it well myself. Just keep in mind not to take it lightly. Tang Xiu nodded with satisfaction and continued, there are tigers and dragons blended in with the underground forces of Saipan, many of whom come from various countries, so we'll keep staying here for several days more. We'll leave after the situation has been completely stabilized. Tom Reggie shifted his vision to Moao, who came back with him and hesitantly asked, Boss, can you let Moao assist me? I found a lot of powerful people while cleaning up the remaining underground forces. Fortunately, he acted and killed them, else we wouldn't have been able to control the entire underground forces of Saipan in such a short period of time. All right, go tend to your business and let Moao stay with me first, replied Tang Xiu. But do call me at once if you're in a dangerous situation. I'll arrange some people to help you deal with it. That's right, let me introduce you to him. This is Demon Freak Geezer, he'll be one of ours in the future. You can take his men to deal with your business when you leave Lao Bay Resort. Tom himself had seen this Demon Freak Geezer and also knew that this geezer was very strong. A surprised look immediately cast on his face upon hearing Tang Xiu's words. Demon Freak Geezer himself didn't say much and just ordered his 18 men to follow Tom Reggie's arrangement. Then, he silently stayed beside Tang Xiu. As of now, he was more and more curious about Tang Xiu because he really couldn't figure out which forces Tang Xiu exactly came from, since there was no monastic sect existence called Tang sect in the entire cultivation society in China. As the sun fully rose from the east, Tang Xiu stood by the window on the second floor of the villa, watching Tom Reggie leave in a rush with his group. He turned to look at Moao, Tang Guang, Hao Lei, Kawako Yamamoto, and the surprised-looking Demon Freak Geezer. I give you guys 2 days to fully absorb all the energy contained in this sanguine pill. As his voice faded away, he flicked 5 sanguine pills, and each fell onto the hands of these 5 people. The eyes of Moao, Tang Guang, Hao Lei, and Kawako lit up. They held the sanguine pill and immediately rushed to their own respective room, ready to seize the time to absorb and refine it. Demon Freak Geezer, however, hesitated and inquired. What effect does this sanguine pill have, boss? I don't know what kind of cultivation art you've been practicing. But it doesn't matter since taking this sanguine pill will be greatly beneficial for you, replied Tang Xiu lightly. At the very least, I'll make you advance to the late stage of golden core without a problem. It was quite a pity there was only 1 golden core when I refined the sanguine pills, though. If I were to add yours then, I could have made mid-stage golden core stage cultivators to directly advance to the nascent soul stage. Cough, cough. Although Demon Freak Geezer was shocked inwardly, he couldn't help but cough awkwardly a few times. Yet, he was cursing in his heart, if my golden core were to be added to the refining of this blood elixir, then I'd have been good as dead already. Ugh. Disregarding my feelings like that, so merciless. Suddenly, he looked down at his feet and hesitantly said, Boss, I can sense the craving from my cadaveric beast. Can you give me another sanguine pill to feed it? Tang Xiu rolled his eyes and coldly humphed. Humph, do you really think a sanguine pill is like rotten cabbage you can just pick up on the street? Giving such a good thing to this beast is nothing but a reckless waste. Demon Freak Geezer, I know you've spent lots of resources and efforts to raise this cadaveric beast, but I have an advice for you. Real experts only rely on their own strength and never from the external help of some evils from demonic ways. Further, you can expect to face great danger once this beast's strength surpasses yours in the future. Demon Freak Geezer incredulously asked, You mean, the role will reverse between us? Without my help, you can expect it to go against you and act as your master once its strength surpasses yours. Tang Xiu nodded. It can kill you or enslave you. Snake-type creatures are the most ruthless. You may raise them for many years, yet that bit of emotion will never affect their nature. Chapter 1093, The Sanguine Pill's Effects. Demon Freak's face slightly changed and he hurriedly asked, Do you have any ways to work around it, boss? Tang Xiu moved lightning fast and the palm of his hand was pressed against the geezer's forehead. Ever since he advanced to the star's heavenly essence level, he was able to easily etch various contents into the target's mind, all the while feeling lazy to take out the beast-ruling art manual. What strength! Demon Freak Geezer wanted to dodge out of instinct, but Tang Shou's speed was too fast and his strength was too strong. He wasn't able to move despite going all out to do so. While his mind was full of thoughts that Tang Shou would harm him, the beast-controlling art suddenly appeared in his mind. This is... He was shocked at the extreme. Although he was shocked by Tang Shou's strength, the mysterious method Tang Shou just displayed shocked him more. He heard that only some very powerful figures could do such a direct transmission technique. Moreover, the art he just obtained was completely able to solve his predicament when the cadaveric beast went against him, when it became much stronger. Quickly after Tang Shou imparted Demon Freak Geezer the beast-controlling art, he released the old man and went back a few meters away, saying lightly, "Keep my words in mind. All foreign objects are nothing but external objects, for the one you can truly rely on is nothing but your own strength. All right, feel free to find yourself a guest room to take that sanguine pill." Awe was evident on Demon Freak Geezer's face as he looked at Tang Shou. He respectfully complied and let out a sigh of relief as he took the cadaveric beast away quickly. He casually found a room and then took the sanguine pill, sitting cross-legged and starting to cultivate. 2 days later. Tom Reggie had already put the entire underground forces in Saipan under his control. He killed a lot of people during these days, but it was more like he was using a carrot-and-stick method to become the overlord of Saipan's underground forces. During this period, some practitioners from other forces wanted to eliminate him. Finally, Tang Shou acted and, after killing some groups of malicious people, the situation in Saipan finally calmed down. Whoosh! Tang Guang silently appeared before Tang Shou with an exciting look. After saluting, he respectfully said, "I've advanced to the late stage of Golden Core and perhaps can break through to the nascent soul soon, Grand Master. Has the resentment contained in the sanguine pill caused too much impact to you?" Tang Shou nodded and smiled. "No," replied Tang Guang smilingly. Tang Shou nodded. "You've been tempered since childhood and is accustomed to matters of life and death in battle, so your mind has been honed. Tang'an, you've also broken through to the late stage of Golden Core?" A graceful figure appeared out of the blue next to Tang Guang. Wearing a black robe, the bronze-masked Tang'an said, "I've advanced to the late stage of Golden Core, Grand Master. It seems like you siblings will be the first two to break through to the nascent soul in our Tang sect. Keep up the hard work since I hope that you can get stronger and stronger. At least, you won't fall behind me too far." The sibling exchanged glances and nodded firmly in response. Quickly after, Mo Ao and Hao Lei appeared in front of Tang Shou. Both looked similarly excited and reported after saluting, "We just broke through to the late stage of Golden Core, Sovereign. But our new realm isn't very solid yet." "That's great already," Tang Shou smilingly said. "Keep diligent in cultivation for the following days, so you can quickly stabilize your realm completely." Understood. The two people nodded. Immediately after, Mo Ao turned to look at Tang Guang and grinningly said, "Well, now my cultivation has caught up with you, maybe it won't take long before I surpass you." Tang Guang let out a contemptuous smile in response. He stretched out 2 fingers and said, "Gimme 20 days and I can break through the nascent soul stage." "How long do you think you need till you get the confidence to advance to the nascent soul, huh?" Mo Ao gaped and immediately looked awkward. It was completely due to the sanguine pill's effect that he could break through to the late stage of Golden Core. What's more, he hadn't even stabilized his new realm, let alone bragging about rushing to the nascent soul stage. Furthermore, he was perfectly aware of one thing: once Tang Guang advanced to the nascent soul stage, his strength would increase by many folds. This guy would only need a flick of a finger to fend off his all-out strength. Anyways, what about Kawako and Demon Freak? "Are they not finished yet?" asked Tang Shou smilingly. The four shook their heads at the same time. Kawako advanced to the Golden Core stage very quickly, but it was all thanks to her obtaining many heavenly and earthly materials and treasures in Japan, which she exchanged with many pills. Her body still contains a lot of unabsorbed efficacies. It's likely she cannot refine the energy of Sanguine Pill in a short time. It seems like I need to give her special training. Can we also participate in this special training, Sect Master? Asked Moa hurriedly. Special training. Particularly one arranged by Tang Xiu. It'd make their strength advance by leaps and bounds every time they finished it. Although the training was unusually painful, it was greatly beneficial for them, so Moa couldn't help but ask about it. Nah. You don't need special training, Tang Xiu shook his head and smiled. You just need to work hard and practice step by step. Besides, the training I'm about to give Kawako won't have much effect on you. Demon Freak Geezer just finished. Well, he hasn't broken through to the nascent soul stage, but he kinda reached the perfected Golden Core stage, just like Tangguang and Tangin. Whoosh. Just as Tang Xiu's voice faded away, the said person's figure appeared in front of everyone. A pleasantly surprised look on his face, he bowed to Tang Xiu and excitedly said, I just advanced to the late stage of Golden Core, boss. I originally prepared a lot of treasures and was waiting for Dao Master Poison, so he could help me advance to the late stage of Golden Core. But now it seems I don't need him at all. Well, you won't need him anymore since he's already gone from this world, though. Tang Xiu smiled. If anything, cultivators at the late stage of Golden Core are still like ants to me, Demon Freak. Only after you've advanced to the nascent soul stage in the future will you understand how big the chasm is between these two stages. The nascent soul stage. Demon Freak Geezer gaped and immediately let out a hollow smile. I'm already satisfied with breaking through to the late stage of Golden Core, boss. I don't think I can ever reach the nascent soul stage in my life. Why? Tang Xiu knitted his brows. It's because of my cultivation art, replied Demon Freak helplessly. I obtained it from a loose cultivator, and the highest stage of this cultivation art is only up to the late stage of Golden Core. That's why I don't have the cultivation art to progress to the next stages. You chose to submit to me and I'm not afraid of your betrayal, so I'm going to teach you a cultivation technique which will propel you to the Great Ascension stage at the very least, said Tang Xiu after he quickly caught his meaning. I'll even impart you the cultivation art for the next stages beyond the Great Ascension stage if your performance is great. A shocked look appeared on Demon Freak's face. Just as he was about to speak, Tang Xiu's hand was pressed on his forehead again and contents of a cultivation art instantly appeared in his mind. The geezer slightly shivered and looked wild with joy. His gratefulness nearly made him kowtow to Tang Xiu. This was a cultivation technique. Further, it allowed one to cultivate up to the Great Ascension stage. Such cultivation art was absolutely more valuable than 100 gold mountains in today's times. This Demon Freak geezer will absolutely be loyal and devoted to you from now on, boss. Demon Freak geezer cupped his fists and solemnly vowed after receiving the cultivation technique. No need to show loyalty with words before me, prove it with your actions in the future, said Tang Xiu smilingly. Yes. He had been feeling reluctant and unwilling, racking his brain countless times on how to escape from Tang Xiu's control. But now he secretly thought that what Kawako had said made sense. Following Tang Xiu was literally a chance to get a huge opportunity. 2 hours later, Kawako hurriedly appeared in front of Tang Xiu with an enthusiastic face. When she saw everyone else had finished their cultivation and reported faster than her, the joy in her heart vanished instantly, and then she respectfully said, I've broken through to the mid-stage of Golden Core, Sect Master. And I'm sure I can quickly advance to the late stage soon. No. You're progressing too fast in your cultivation. This will lead to a shaky foundation. Tang Xiu shook his head. I'll arrange a special training program for you after we're done with this matter and go back. After you've stabilized your new realm completely and you've absorbed the residual pill's efficacy in your system, as well as the one from the sanguine pill, you can then advance to the late stage of golden core. Sovereign, you said I have a lot of residual pill's efficacy in my system, and even the sanguine pill's energy hasn't been fully absorbed, questioned Kawako in doubt. Instead of directly answering her question, Tang Xiu asked, you often feel your body turn warm and even a sudden heat flow from a certain part of your body when you're practicing, don't you? Also, the sensation as if your true essence is getting stronger by a level, no?
Yeah.
I often encounter such a case. Kawako nodded. That's due to the dormant medicinal efficacy in your system, explained Tang Xiu. You've taken too many heavenly and earthly treasures prior to this. Your system was unable to fully refine and absorb them all, given your cultivation level at the time. After a long time, it has been accumulating and remained in your system. Kawako instantly caught the gist and nodded. I see, Kawako will follow your arrangement, Sect Master. Tang Xiu turned to Demon Freak Geezer and said, it's time to contact Angelo Dolan. Find where they are. We'll eliminate them swiftly. These bastards have injured my men, they must pay a painful price for that. Understood. Demon Freak Geezer complied. The old man could feel how protective was Tang Xiu towards his underlings from his words. Suddenly, he felt that pledging his allegiance to him was truly a good decision. Once he had proven his loyalty and was thoroughly recognized by him, it was likely that he'd also help him to avenge his enemy once he got injured by any outsiders. In the next 2 days, Tang Xiu secretly met Song Guanghui. After discussing some issues with him, he took everyone to board the liner to rush toward the Pacific Ocean. Although Tom Reggie had just become the overlord of Saipan's underground forces, Tang Xiu didn't intend to leave him alone in Saipan and let him pick one capable and loyal man to take care of Saipan on his behalf. Afterward, he used special means to make Tom Reggie ingest the sanguine pill and helped him to embark on the cultivation path. Chapter 1094, A Bunch of Scoundrels. Stars twinkled in the night sky as a cool sea breeze swayed over the calm sea, reflecting the vague exquisiteness of the starlight's beauty. In the midst of the sparkling light waves, many sea critters jumped out of the sea to peep into the other world outside their sea habitat. 2 luxury liners, each with accommodations for hundreds of people, quietly anchored in the middle of the sea. Multicolored lights decorated them as though they were some huge colorful gems set on the sea. A long table with a variety of fruits and snacks and the beautiful utensils was placed on the bow deck. Crystal cups filled with red wine looking like exquisite blood liquids, 2 Caucasian handsome young men raised them and had a toast. God must be sleeping for letting you stroll around the Pacific, Will Art. The pyramid has long ruined your Ordo company, and even rumors have it that you met Satan himself and drank with him. How the hell did you appear here now, though? Angelo Dolan started to speak with a warm smile, yet his words were intriguing, to say the least. Donning red pajamas, the long blonde-haired Will Art shrugged and just drank the wine from the crystal cup. He then gently picked up the white handkerchief to wipe the wine at the corner of his mouth and replied with a leisure smile, "The Lord is sleeping, huh? Dunno about that, but I'm hella sure Satan doesn't like me so much." "You're the one Satan loves, Angelo. He didn't come to find you, so how come he summoned me?" The smile on Angelo's face receded. "Oh, dear Will, you know my character, don't you? I never like to beat around the bush. Just answer me, why did you come to the Pacific? Don't tell me you're also trying to get those treasures?" "Well, you know. Men will die for riches as will birds for food," replied Will Art. "The local legends say some treasures have been buried here, so of course I must try my luck too, don't you think? But after confirming it was fake news fabricated by the Celestial Wizard clan, I don't give a shit anymore. Then, I might as well take this chance to relax well. I have the wine, delicacies, and beauties here. Besides, this spot isn't that far from Saipan. Having such a leisure life here is not bad and kinda makes me fulfilled. So to say, you're on vacation now, huh? Replied Angelo. Will Art chuckled and said, I didn't say I'm on vacation per se, mind you. I came here to find the treasure, got it? Ahaha, that old man of mine just can't wait to squeeze me all the time. He treats me as a bank's money printing machine, making me so dead tired. Having said that, he turned to glance at the straight line of burly men in black suits. His tone went several octaves and asked aloud, Hey, you guys. Are you not tired? No. We're not tired, sir. The burly men's group replied aloud. Will Art rolled his eyes in response. He lackadaisically stretched his own body and groaned. Bah, what a bunch of hypocritical bastards. You must follow my ass every day and work for money, yet you shit out like you're not tired, huh? It seems I'm gonna treat these guys as mules and horses later. Angelo burst into laughter and said aloud, Wahaha, my dear friend Will. You're really helpless, aren't you? My men will say they're tired if I say they are and feel energetic if I say so. Okay, let's cut the crap. Will Art waved and said, anyways, I got some good models from the Babylonian agency, they will wait for you at the party. Don't refuse me. I got them all checked, their skills are great. Spare me the talks about chicks. Angelo warmly smiled and said, I originally planned to find for some time, though I never expected to meet you here. Let's have a business chat first and have some fun later, shall we? Will Art picked up his brows and straightforwardly replied, I've been told 1,000,000 times to deal with proper business first. And you know what? I've always been busy from Christmas to Christmas, and that makes me tired like a snow dog. But now, I just want to think how to get some fun and some cozy shits and earn my happiness in doing it. Dear Mr. Art, I'm sure you know about the robbery of the Dante diamond mine in Africa, given your house's intel network, said Angelo strangely. I don't think to hide it from you is necessary since those who robbed it are my house Dolan's men. However, we got some deep conflict with some local lords there, and dealing with them will be quite troublesome. Will Art's face slightly changed. He shot a deep look at Angelo Dolan and emphasized every word he said in reply, Your proposal piqued my interest, I admit. Go on. I'll consider it if I think it's a good proposal. Well, the benefits will be like the pie falling from the sky, I assure you, said Angelo confidently. I'm sure nobody will refuse it unless his brain is dead. I need your house to help me solve these poor and backward places in Africa to silence these local lords' heads. I'll give 20% of the profits to your house. How about it? Eyes flickering, Will Art thought for a few minutes. He slowly stretched out his fingers and said, I want 40%. Angelo glared at him and yelled, What the fuck? My house Dolan suffered huge losses just to rob that Dante diamond mine and now you want 40%? Are you insane or this world has gone crazy? That's impossible. Even if I give you my word, my family's elders will never agree to it. Don't make it sound like a tragedy, will you? Will Art sneered. Those who robbed the Dante diamond mine didn't suffer any losses at all. House Art can still investigate this info ourselves. Alright, I'll lower my appetite. 30%. Lower than that, and my House Art won't take it. You can seek others for cooperation. 30%. It was a figure Angelo could still accept. In actuality, the situation in Africa was very complicated. Let alone 30%, he was even ready to share 50% of the revenue. Of course, he would naturally play some tricks to lower the price as much as possible to get his house a bigger share. All right, deal. Angelo Dolan and Will Art looked at each other. Both happily smiled in similar fashion at the same time. The latter then clapped and a big man suddenly rushed into the cabin. A few minutes later, four voluptuous blondes came out with him. Will Art looked at Angelo Dolan and grinningly said, Well, how about having some fun together? 2 for each. Angelo liked women, especially female models who often showed up in public because some of them he had played with maybe would suddenly become a sensation and a superstar someday. However, he still had something to deal with, so he shook his head. I already told you we gotta chat some serious shits first. Some friends will come over later, so let's wait for them. Some friends? Who? Will Art was surprised. Demon freak geezer, said Angelo Dolan smilingly. Will Art abruptly got up from the chair with a look of dread and hastily said, My dear old buddy Angelo, are you fucking crazy? Why did you call that demon freak geezer? He's a madman who tinkers with the dead nearly every day. You damn shit. I knew it. No way in hell any pie will fall from the sky. I thought I just secured a big deal, I never thought I'd encounter such bad luck. Why do you sound like you're so afraid of that old devil, though, said Angelo strangely. Is it 'cause he keeps missing you, or you got enmity or something with him?
Nah.
I got no enmity with that fella. But he got me into a shithole when he robbed some treasures from my house. Will Art waved and said, Alas, I really want to blow him up to make him return my family's treasures. Angelo pointed to the row of strong men nearby and grinningly said, Can you pack up that old devil with these men you brought, though? A strange light flashed in Will Art's eyes and he proudly declared. Even if they can't get rid of that fella, they won't lose either. Young master. A belle with swaying slender waist in professional attire and gold-rimmed glasses walked out of the cabin. She squatted beside Angelo and whispered, We just spotted a liner heading toward us a few nautical miles away. Angelo furrowed his brows and grinningly said, The Chinese said you speak of the devil and the devil will come to you. If my guess is correct, it should be that old devil with his men. Will Art rolled his eyes and groaned. You know, I really hoped I'd never seen him. Nothing good ever happens every time I bump into him. Quickly after, a luxury liner slowly approached. When Angelo and Willie saw the demon freak geezer standing on the bow deck, the former stood up, stretching out his arms and smilingly saying aloud, Hey, demon freak geezer. Welcome. The luxury liner anchored and demon freak geezer looked surprised, before letting out a dry laugh. Angelo Dolan, you're really impatient and can't wait to see Satan yourself, right? To think that you're so happy because of my arrival, must I say I feel honored or what? The smile on Angelo's face receded. He furrowed his brows and said, Hey, demon freak geezer, that's not a fucking happy joke, you hear? He's not joking since you'll definitely grate your great god, the Satan himself, today. Tang Xiu led Tang Guang and the rest out of the cabin and came to the side of demon freak geezer. The latter bowed and then moved behind Tang Xiu. Wariness and vigilance filled Angelo Dolan's eyes, and he even felt a bit shocked inwardly. He knew demon freak geezer's attitude and was perfectly aware that this old devil was not only ruthless and cold-blooded, but also extremely arrogant. But who exactly was that young man? And why did demon freak geezer act so respectful towards him? Who are you? Angelo retreated a few steps. As his men quickly gathered up at his side, he grimly asked. Chapter 1095, Speaking more is useless. On the bow of the luxury liner, Mo moved over a sofa. Tang Xiu let out a smile and sat on it, put a leg atop the other, and then lit a cigarette. Looking at the two men with a happy smile, he grinningly said, You see, I don't think there's a need for you to know who I am, for your most respected god, the Satan himself, would feel ecstatic to see you and won't ask who has sent you to him. Angelo Dolan stared daggers at Tang Xiu and asked, Is there any enmity between us? The grudge is there, and the hatred is as deep as the bloody ocean. Tang Xiu nodded. It's not only you, though. Those men you brought with you and all those shits in House Dolan are damned, including the ones in the SOE company under your family's control. Angelo shifted his gaze to Demon Freak Geezer and furiously shouted, Demon Freak Geezer, we've been friends and worked together for many years, why the hell did you choose to betray us? Any good birds will choose fine trees to nestle in. My boss has tremendous strength. He even has the means to make me stronger, so it's a given I'm willing to pledge allegiance to him. Demon Freak Geezer grinningly said, you know, I can get some benefits from the cooperation with your house Dolan, indeed. But comparing what I get from you and what I can get from my boss is simply like comparing the day and night. You can only blame your bad luck, Angelo. My boss men are not easy to deal with, mind you. Angelo was greatly shaken inwardly. Even his dreams, he never thought that Demon Freak Geezer would actually address that young man as his boss. What kind of musical stage was this? This was clearly the music of a dog licking its master. This is bad. Angelo realized that he was in a crisis. He only brought out a few men from his house, 4 of whom were his closest confidants. Although they were very strong, they were still no match for Demon Freak Geezer. Even if these 4 were to join hands, they would only be able to contend with the old devil evenly at best. However, the real crisis was not this old devil but that mysterious young man and his men. They could make such the geezer who only respected the strong to submit, that only meant that their strength was above his. What should I do? Am I going to die in the sea today? Uneasy filled Angelo's whole being. He turned to look at Will Art nearby and immediately had a peace of mind a lot. Will Art himself had been silent, but he calmly observed Tang Xiu and his men. When Angelo turned to look at him, he responded with a mocking face, give my house Art 40% shares of Africa's Dante diamond mine and I'll cooperate with you to solve this immediate trouble. Angelo paused for a moment and then nodded. Agreed. Squeezing out a smile, Will Art shot a look at Moa and smilingly spoke, I'm sure you recognize me, old buddy. It's been several years since we last met, but I never thought you've actually chosen your master. I sent you some people to entertain you guys in the past and created a very powerful expert out of you. Tang Xiu raised his brows. He's Will Art, boss. Moa respectfully said, the training camp I used to train in before was founded by his family. As far as I know, members of House Art are very strong, their strength is almost inhuman. This Will is the first in line of House Art. Jie has great privileges and rights and he once tried to recruit me. I see. Tang Xiu nodded. He just said you guys. Is there anyone else among you all? Kawako's expression was a bit ugly. She once witnessed Will Art's killing scene. It was absolutely crazy and grotesquely bloody. She was even secretly glad she didn't stand opposite him at that time, else she'd have died already. Upon hearing Tang Xiu's words, she paced a step forward and respectfully reported. Sect Master. The assassin organization I once belonged to received an assassination mission where my side was initially on the same side with him. Hence, I once witnessed what he could showcase at that time. He was very strong, definitely a top expert to me then. Further, he also wanted to recruit me, though my response was perfunctory. Then I found the opportunity to return to Japan. Tang Xiu understood in a flash and smilingly said, I see. This Will Art seems to be a very powerful man in your eyes previously, then. If that's the case, then I'll give you 2 solutions. But remember not to kill him, though. Maybe he can be sold for a good price. Moa and Kawako Yamamoto exchanged glances and immediately nodded. Tang Xiu looked at Angelo and Will on the opposite liner and lightly smiled. I'm only here to avenge my men. But well, I never thought I'd have the chance to make a fortune though. This is not bad. Hostile eyes staring at Tang Xiu, Angelo asked in a deep tone, I'm still not clear what kind of enmity exists between us, Mr. Besides, is there a need for you to hide anything? You must be very strong yourself since you can make Demon Freak Geezer your underling. Just who are you? Let's chat since I'm still smoking, then. Tang Xiu looked at the cigarette in his hand and found it hadn't finished yet, so he smiled and said, let me tell you. I'm Tang Xiu from China. And you, Angelo Dolan, you brought your SOE company's genetic warriors to ambush my men in Saipan. That was uncalled for. That's why I want to ask you, why did you bring them to intercept and ambush them? Angelo's head was full of confusion. He looked at Tang Xiu with a puzzled face and asked, "Your men? Who are they?" "I killed a lot of people in Saipan. Troubles may be avoided when trouble befalls you from heaven, but there's no hope for escape when you ask for it." "Truly." Tang Xiu shook his head and said, "To think that you're like a rabid dog to ambush and kill so many people in Saipan is truly unexpected. But I'll tell you, his name is Golden Lion, Jing. Haven't you heard about him?" "Golden Lion?" A scowl appeared on Angelo's face and he growled. "So, you're Golden Lion's master, huh? It seems you're the reason he became so powerful." "That's right, I ambushed his group then. That damn asshole killed my younger brother. I hate my bastard brother, but he's still my brother, so that guy must die." Tang Xiu looked surprised. He flicked the cigarette but leisurely and clapped smilingly. "Oh, remember this guy's words. Jing killed his brother, meaning he's scored a great contribution. Make a note to give him some rewards after we get back." "Understood." Mo himself couldn't get why Tang Xiu had such deep hatred towards House Dolan. But he didn't ask much and just made a mental note, House Dolan is a mortal enemy, and killing them can be rewarded. "I admit you're very strong, Tang Xiu. But we're not some fucking weak layman either." Angelo growled. "We can go all out and perish together with you if we think we can't survive. Only a few of you will survive even if you kill us all, so it's better to negotiate and let go of this matter today. How about it?" "Humph, the bloodshed from my men can never be exchanged or traded." Tang Xiu sneered. "When you ambushed and besieged my men, you must be prepared to be retaliated. Seems like talking is useless. Kill them all." Whoosh. Whoosh. Two figures flickered lightning fast and landed first to the liner tens of meters away, Mo and Kawako Yamamoto. They instantly unleashed their respective immortal swords. However, their target was not Angelo Dolan but Will Art. Tang Guang and Hao Lei exchanged glances and smiled. They followed suit to rush toward the passenger ship. But one person moved faster than them, Demon Freak Geezer. The old devil just tasted the sweet benefit he got from Tang Xiu today, which led to his cultivation level promotion. He broke through to the late stage of Golden Core, so he couldn't wait to display what he could do before Tang Xiu, hoping to get more rewards. He thought it'd be worth it if Tang Xiu rewarded him with another sanguine pill. Seeing the storming figures coming toward them, Angelo and Will dashed back nearly at the same time. Tens of their men quickly replaced their positions and prepared to fight. This is interesting. For tall men with long white hair and ruddy complexions appeared in the air around Will Art, holding strange weapons. All of which emitting chilling aura, a proof that they were slaughtering weapons. Interesting? My thoughts exactly. Two placid-faced old men with burlap shoes and octagonal hats instantly appeared from the cabin, protecting Angelo Dolan from the right and left. They were experts of House Dolan who were responsible for protecting Angelo's safety, genetic warriors who had been injected with genetic agents many times. The present them were definitely men with copper and iron bones and lightning-fast speed and inexhaustible strength. Tang Xiu remained calm and didn't even flinch as these all happened. In his eyes, everyone on those two liners was nothing but dead bodies to be fed to the sharks. He may not have much self-confidence had it been 2 days ago. But now was completely different since Mo and the rest had their strengths promoted by leaps and bounds. Even Kawako was now at the mid-stage of Golden Stage, while the rest had advanced to the late stage of Golden Core. It was absolutely a breeze for them to obliterate all the enemies there. What's more, there was still Demon Freak Geezer. This geezer's power was so tyrannical that he could kill everyone by himself. As expected, just as the group lunged to the liners in front, they immediately launched a bloody massacre. It only took less than 10 minutes except for Angelo Dolan, Will Art, and the 4 old men who protected him before the rest was all slaughtered. Disbelief was evident in Angelo's eyes. A chill filled his whole heart. He brought more than 40 genetic warriors from SOE, all of whom possessed formidable power and could be said to be the best elites of the SOE. Yet, they couldn't even fight back facing these people, leaving him deep dread inside. I gotta find a way to escape. No matter how unwilling Angelo was, the situation forced him and he didn't want to die.